Alright, welcome back YouTube. Next project, Chevy truck. Exhaust, carb, intake, timing chain, refreshing the motor. Get it back to life. The last time you hear and see it like this. Here we go. Alright, welcome back YouTube. Next project, Chevy truck. Exhaust, carb, intake, timing chain, refreshing the motor. Get it back to life. The last time you hear and see it like this. Here we go. Alright, and this is the bottom side of our Chevy project. Hey, dum-dum. Anyway, yeah, here we go. Last time you see this exhaust on here. We're gonna go ahead and yank the whole thing off. Got a little leak in the gas tank I want to fix first before I get to welding over there. Might be a bad idea. But yeah, pretty simple. Here we go. Got this thing up on the lift, ready to rock and roll. Matter of fact, I think we're gonna start up here. Come off our little collector. Go up and over our cross member with that one. This one I'm going to change from the back of the manifold right here. We're going to come down and shoot straight back through that hole at my fingertip. Bend it up. Putting Flowmaster 40 series on here, or some Super 44s, one of the two. The owner of this truck would like some nice sound to come out of this. We're going to solve all that. Alright, back at it. Next part of our video. And I'm doing cleaning on these undercarriage. I like to get all this grease off, you know, at least a minimal of a good scuff around everything. This cover's actually going to come off, and I'm going to probably pull wheels, tires off, get these springs, everything just kind of smoothed out. Then we're going to spray it with Rust-Oleum. We got an external tank on this one, an aftermarket over there in the middle of the picture. You can see this is the factory ones look like. I got new hangers. We're going to put those on this side. Also, we got a gas line here that's been rubbing on the drive line for a while. The carrier bearing is shot, so that's getting replaced. And we're slowly just cleaning up all these edges and trying to get everything, you know, at least smooth where the paint will stick. Exhaust is going to get replaced. This motor, I think I'm going to go ahead and yank. We got a couple seals on it that could use replaced, and you can tell from all the grease that's been dripping for a while. Already pressure washed it, and this is just more stuff coming off. Nasty stuff everywhere. Long story short though, we're getting there. We're going to try to clean everything up, and I'll keep making videos along the process of this, from start to finish. Thanks for watching. Alright, we're getting a lot farther here. Got a lot of this cleaned up. Had to remove a gas tank actually. That was some kind of an aftermarket. I don't know. But anyway, we're getting everything down to the nitty gritty. Trying to get every little speck of oil off this thing. Take the wheels off next. Get that. Got a lot of this already hit with just a quick wire. Some of the deeper stuff we're hitting with sand. We're going to replace some fuel lines while we're at the Atom here anyway. Trying to clean up the motor. I'm going to try to get some of these gaskets situated. And yeah, it's pretty much some of our story. I'll make another video as soon as I get more of this shaved down and ready to go. Alright, we're back at it. We're not doing all the way to bare metal on this one as far as an undercoat paint. Something to clean it up. You see it ain't perfect. And a good scuffing. You knock most of your major dirt and rust piles off. Cleaned all these up. For example, we have this one here, and you got all that grease buildup. You want all that pretty much removed. Paint won't ever seal to it. This is prior to knocking everything off. We got some little holes. We're not going to do this truck perfect, But some of the frame, as you can see, we kind of had worked the bottom side first. Now we're working our way up, wheel wells and all that. All your joints, ball joints, tie rod ends, steering components, etc. They're all going to have grease from the Zerk, so just try your best to knock all that off. As far as underneath, we already have our new gas tank over there. And all this, we are going to finish. We got a few spots to maybe lay another layer on, put our other gas tank back in over here. And, pardon me, here we go. This one's pretty close already. We cleaned a lot of the grease and stuff off tie rod ends and you name it. Cleaning all the calipers. We're going to put new brakes on it while it's apart, and shocks, might as well. And for instance, this one too. Well, you just give it a quick scuff and go over it. Knock all your major stuff off. If we were to fully go into the metal, it'd take probably 4 times the amount of work that it took on this one. Got a couple spots to patch. That's probably about the worst of it though. A couple places under the hood. And a little dusty now, but that thing was looking brand new. Well, a couple hours ago anyway. Alright, back at it. We got a couple touch-up spots, but overall, just a quick spray, clean. Everything's looking a lot better, at least. Liking how that turned out. This is probably one of the faster ones I've ever did as far as just a quick scuff and spray. Everything looks pretty good. Got a few spots we're gonna have to go over, I see. Overall, I'm pretty happy. Now I can put my exhaust in. I wanted everything cleaned up before we did that. And we got a gas tank. I'm going to modify a little bit, get all that in. And yeah, we're there. Alright, back at it. We got our hood off. We're going to go ahead and kind of clean up some of these wires. Take off the whole top end of the motor. Get a new cam, lifters, intake manifold, carburetor, all matching Edelbrock. And we're gonna go ahead and rebuild our battery boxes, clean up like our firewall, maybe some fresh hoses, some wiring. I'll keep this posted on the next video after done. And here we go. We got her almost all the way pulled apart, pulling off all the BS vacuum lines, new battery trays, fixing some of this wiring. This one has a dual battery setup, so the other one goes right here. Yeah, we are going to clean all this up. All new Edelbrock matching stuff. Replace the brake master and booster. And yeah, some of these loose ends, I don't really like the look of those wires. We're going to just try to make it all discreet. Really just sleek, I guess. Alright, we got our motor broke down. Exhaust manifold's off because it is getting all brand new exhaust when I'm done. With that light there, fellas. But yeah, we're going to get the rest of this broke down. Radiator's out. Pop off our harmonic balancer there, that big round thingy. And then timing chain. We're going to redo timing chain gears and chain. Pretty much it barely comes out. I might have to move this transmission cooler. So far, so good. Alright, we got our engine blade kind of halfway, just a quick sand, degrease. I'm going to go ahead and paint it with everything on the top end, valve covers, intake, carb, because they're going to come off, and it's actually the best way to mask it. So everything will be pre-prepped, ready to go. Alright, now we got our motor painted as far as the block anyway. Like I said, the valve covers, intake, Carburetor, all that's getting changed. Not a perfect paint job, but look a lot better after all the chrome and aluminum are back on it. We're gonna do new timing chain seal, everything also, and a coat from the bottom. All right, now we're getting ready to pre-soak our lifters for the new cam. And a lot of people know about it. Just put them in a container. We are going to go ahead and fill these up. Get my little thing open here. All right, got our oil open, and let's go ahead and soak them in. You want all the air out of these, and maybe once we let them soak for probably about 48 hours. Good call on these ones. We're gonna go ahead and use a push rod and kind of try to get the last little bit of air out of them. Leave them overnight, at least minimal. Just let the air work its way out of them. You definitely want to have them pre-pumped up before they're in the motor. All right, back at it. We're now tearing off carb, top end stuff, valve covers, all the little vacuum lines and wires and everything else. We're gonna get this ripped off today. Tear off the timing chain set, timing chain cover, on new seals, and like I said before, on all that. I'm gonna go ahead and pause this video, get the rest of this kind of going, and I'll get back recording here in a minute. All right, got back inside here. We're looking pretty nasty, a lot of carbon buildup, but overall inside the motor looks pretty good. I like to kind of wrap this with towels so I can catch all these big chunks of nasty stuff, carbon buildup. I don't know what RTV is doing on all these. It's not supposed to be here, but yeah, you can see where I was leaking slight fluid and whatnot in the valley pan, or oil, whatchamacallit. My bad. But anyway, yeah, it was leaking overall. Long story short, we're gonna go ahead and clean all this, wire wheel it, make a perfectly greaseless surface for the gasket, and tear off our front end. All right, just actually dropped the carb in the intake over it. I'm gonna test fit everything, see how it's gonna look. Not looking too shabby. We got a few touch-ups on paint and whatnot, but yeah, I got the inside all cleaned up finally. Nasty one, I'll admit that, but after this, it shouldn't leak a drop of oil anywhere. And with the fenders and everything else cleaned up, painted, we're gonna flat black them. Build a new battery box over on this side to match that one over there. And other than that, we're looking great. Back at it. Here's our timing chain. Quick lesson about this. There's some bolts on the oil pan. All these holes, you want to take out the first few and literally loosen up the rest, because it gets caught on this lip seals on the bottom of the timing chain cover. That is our timing chain right above us. We're going to get all that cleaned up. Like I said, this timing chain cover, this piece right here actually seals under the oil pan. So like I said, you're going to have to loosen up that oil pan good. And while you got it apart, I recommend this seal right here. It just pops right out. So good thing to replace it. You can see this one's pretty worn out along that inner edge. Long story short, replace it while it's out. Clean everything good. You don't want no oil leaks. Not after this. Alright, and here's our top side. Now, when putting in these gears, like I said, you got to pull this oil pan down a little bit. Let me get in here a little better. But anyway, this part around here that connects on the upper side of it is where we got a little bit of a split. I just got a screwdriver slightly held in there to hold it down. I normally try to keep the valve, or the middle of there, covered up under the intake manifold. And also, good idea to put little towels or something small in the intake holes for time being. You don't want a bunch of debris in this thing. Now, when putting back on this timing chain, you're going to notice a few things. This one's kind of dirty, so I actually don't see some marks, but normally there's one here. Well, the motor is at top dead center when your mark is here and your mark's here. They're right adjacent to each other. But this one, obviously we can't see, so I'll show you on the new timing set when we get that popped in. These 3 bolts here come off, this comes off, and then we can get the chain out, and then the cam will actually slide out, but we got to pull all these push rods first. Let me get a little more going, and yeah, we'll keep taping. Okay, back at it. I just took a 5/8 counterclockwise, loosen all these up where your rocker will actually spin off the top. Just pull out your push rod ends. Stuck them back in here as you go. And don't worry, they ain't going nowhere if they drop. Just one by one. I know specialty engines have fine adjustment as far as some of the widths on these, but stock motor like this one, we're not doing anything crazy. So these can be regular lengths. They don't need extended or shortened or wider. And there you go. Now with all those out, pop all those out, and then we're going to pull the cam last, because those push rods push against the cam. Alright, we got our cam back in, new timing chain on, ready to drop in our lifters and push rods. Give it a slight adjustment to the rocker arms. You can see we got our arrows lined up, those 2 dots. Motor's at top dead center. Alright, back to it. We just got everything reassembled. Starting to look like a motor again. We're going to have to run this and adjust the valves while it's running. But here we go. Alright, now we're just hitting some of these parts. Cleaned all the rust off them. Hit them with a quick die grind with a terry cloth on it. Yep, and with our fresh paint on a couple of these pulleys. Harmonic balancer pulley, water pump pulley. Everything's looking good. Got a little heat going to them. Yeah.